Welcome back, my friends. Today we are here with the Etendard. The more I fly this plane, the more I actually like it. But it's not everybody's cup of tea now. I'm just going to say, this is not a plane that you can get away with turn fighting people in. But if you play it smart, if you grab a little bit of altitude, look at this power. There's nobody on my team that's keeping up with me right now. And these guys on the other side of the map, yeah, they're high, but I guarantee they do not have the speed that I have. Fun fact, if you take this thing high enough, it's actually supersonic. So do not be deceived by the lack of an afterburner in this aircraft. Now, with that being said though, this aircraft only has a top speed of 1100 kilometers an hour. That becomes an issue because most of the 9.0s are capable of doing well over 1100, so this aircraft really benefits from getting a little bit of altitude at the start, and this is exactly what I'm doing. 5K, 6K, 7 kilometers high sometimes, depending on what I'm facing. You know, you want to be watching out for lightnings. You definitely can't catch them, but you can kind of throw them off guard by following them vertical if they've dumped enough speed. Now, we know that your reality is you're not going to catch a smart lightning pilot, but just keep that in mind because, like I said, you never know. This thing has a lot of power and people underestimate this aircraft. Generally speaking, if you get into a fight and you have an energy advantage, or an altitude advantage at least, over some of these guys, and you haven't dumped your speed, you can take almost anything vertical into an energy trap. Now you will struggle because once you get slow, and this is the downside of this aircraft, while it turns really well at high speeds, when you start getting slow, it kind of turns into a brick. So here we start into this match. We're going to pull inside this MiG-15's turn. He's not paying attention. Easy kill. MiG-17's dodging somebody behind him. I don't know. Oh, he's pulling into a head-on. Perfect. Tail's gone. That's 2 down right off the bat. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and maintain my energy. I'm not going to dump it. Now here's the problem. Energy retention, every maneuver that you make dumps a little bit of speed or kills your acceleration. So you want to try and fly straight without having to dodge. When people fire missiles at you, that kind of kills it. So I know at this extent, that F-11 is going to be able to catch me because he is faster. He does almost 1,200 kilometers an hour. I only do 1,100. I might be able to break that a little bit into a dive, but right now I'm going to drag him away from the fight. He's fired off 2 missiles at me. I know he probably has 2 more. So here we are, dragging him away from the fight because I know if I get slow, anybody else is going to come along and wipe me up. People might call it running, but this is how you have to play this game in a 12-on-12 combat. So here we go into a slight dive. Try and force that guy to go a little bit faster and reduce the chance of him air braking me and sitting on my butt because this aircraft doesn't maintain a lot of energy to start with, but I do outturn these guys just enough. Just enough. So into the vertical a little bit here, we're going to pop these flaps out. I don't like popping flaps, but when you get really slow, sub 400, you can pop the landing flaps. When you pop the landing flaps, the nose comes right over. And now I know that I failed to reverse this guy. I'm going to drop my nose, get my flaps in, all my drag. Look at this acceleration. He is not going to keep up. He's probably going to lodge a missile at me, but I'm going to outrun him and then some right now. There comes the missile. Little bit. Doesn't take too much to dodge it, and it's now past me. I'm doing 800, and I am GTFO. We are gone. Now, eventually, he will be able to catch up to me again, but this is how you kind of control the engagements with this aircraft. You out-accelerate everything. Well, of course, except for a lightning. But this is how you control it. You know, if you dump your speed, you become a brick. You saw how we became really, really bricky there. And that's not a situation for any dogfight. You know, I can outturn them, but this aircraft has only two DEFA cannons on it, and they are belly mounted. They actually aim just a little bit low. I struggle with these guns quite a bit. You can ask some of the people who've been flying with me. I actually get extremely frustrated. But pulling away from the fight. Looks like he got bored. Maybe he was flying min-fuel. I don't know, but he's gone. He's out of here. So we're going to try and help out my squad mate here. Pull into the head-on with the F-11. Well, he's not taking the head-on. Lob a bullet or 2. Missed him. Underled that by a little bit. And here comes another fighter. But he looks like he's going around. I don't want to get tangled up with the Venom, so I'm dropping my nose. I'm going to keep kind of extending here a little bit. See if I can fight this F-11. Lead a little bit more, get the F-11 on fire. He is out of the match, and it looks like I dumped a little too much speed, underestimated how much the Venom had, and here we go. I should be dead right now. I really should be dead right now. But we're going to play the fact that the Venom has a really bad roll rate and try and dodge just a little bit. Like I said, it does have a poor roll rate, and Hispanos suck, and he has peppered me. And somehow, he decides that, well, I've passed him. He's not there anymore. Out of sight, out of mind, I don't know. But you see how bricky this plane gets. And I'm lining up. My squad mates asked me if he could take it. I said, sure. I didn't realize I was going to get the shot right here. But he's gone. Honestly, though, should have been dead. No doubt in my mind, had he had a little bit better aim and probably used ground targets, he might have had me. F9F kind of, okay, whatever. That's another kill. Even with a little bit of damage, though, we're just going to continue on. It's not the greatest situation. Again, this is not a situation I want to be in. Here comes the F11. He's going to catch me. I am on the deck, and I'm not faster than him. This is what happens when you lose a little bit of altitude. Again, like I said, I can out-turn F11s, but if they want to air brake me, they can. So we just lead the turn a little bit. We're trying to set up. I know I'm going to dump a lot of speed with wing damage, but we're going to stick with it. I got a squad mate to help me. Here comes the other one, unfortunately. Straightening my nose out a little bit. I don't want to turn too early and give him a broadside. We're going to just play the elevator a little bit. Hopefully he can't hit me. He can't hit me. Hopefully he still can't hit me, and he didn't hit me. But here we are. You see how slow we turn? When we're this slow, we're sitting duck. We're just kind of dodging, ducking, weaving, just hoping that they don't catch us, hoping they don't hit us. So now I've thrown one missile off. I'm going to throw the other missile off at him. And that's just to keep him from accelerating, because if he's dodging missiles, he's not going to accelerate. Meanwhile, I am. My acceleration is better than his. Even with this wing damage, we're going to catch him. But you're going to see this is going to get kind of dry really quick, because I struggle with these guns because they are under the belly. And there is only 2 Defas on this plane. Remember, Defas and Aidens are almost identical in this game. Yes, Defas have a higher rate of fire, but they perform exactly the same in this game. And unfortunately, they are sparking quite a bit lately, but combined with a really bad roll rate on this aircraft, you're going to struggle. You will struggle. You'll struggle a lot. I've tried vertical targeting with the guns. Doesn't seem to help me much. But look at this. We've missed our shot. We're just going to fly away. We're just going to continue to fly away. So he's dodged. He dumped a lot of speed. We were kind of slow, and I'm just accelerating. And if I didn't have this damage, I would actually go up right now. But because I have this damage, I don't want to risk that, because I know that my acceleration is not what it should be right now. But we're going to set up for another pass, lead the turn, try and force an overshoot. I'm trying not to dump all my speed. If I dump it too early, he's just going to sit on my butt. Pulling around, he sees my squad mates coming, doesn't follow. This is pretty much the end of the match. He's going to end up running. I have no desire to show you guys this, but I did want to show you the difference in acceleration in a fight. So I hope you learned something from that. I'm going to switch around. We're going to show a couple different scenes here of really bad situations that I managed to pull away from, only really by luck. So in this match, we're looking at trying to drag it out for a one-on-one versus another F11. Obviously, I'm easily out-accelerating this guy, but running from him is not solving any problems. I want to get rid of him. So here we go again. Remember I said this aircraft kind of gets really sluggish, so I don't want to dump my speed until he gets close. So here we go into the turn, leading it. Now I'm going to pull as hard as I can. Sometimes I air brake, sometimes I don't. I generally prefer not to air brake. But we can easily out-turn this guy. He's got a better roll rate. But here we go. We're going to try and get into it, get him into a bait. I hear something coming. Boom. Now I'm in trouble. All right, so we're going to try and finish this guy off. Not quite enough. He's air braking really hard. So we're going to try and pull out of this, and we're going to accelerate. I needed the flaps right there to try and clear that mountain, but drop our nose, and now we're going to accelerate away. Problem is, though, that other guy has quite a bit of energy. So while I might be able to outrun the one that I was just dueling, I'm not going to outrun the other F11. So here, we're just kind of setting up. I got Chadmiral over here helping me out, but he's fighting another guy. I asked him if we can trade targets. He's got one. I've got one. Hopefully he can get the guy on my butt. I can get the guy on his butt. Should work out fine in theory, right? Probably not. Anyways, so here we go. I'm going for Hiltz, whatever this guy's name is. We're going to take a quick head on. I hear something above me. I know something's coming. We get a crit on that guy, though. We're going to drop our nose, hopefully, and then I see, oh, here comes another MiG-17. Here's the problem with being on the deck in this aircraft. You're not fast enough. I'm never going to outrun the MiG-17. But I know, even though he has better performance than the MiG-15, he still compresses a little bit of high speed. Trying not to dump all my speed. F11, same story. I'm trying not to dump all my speed. It's not easy in this aircraft. A little bit of neg G right there because he had a shot. And this is just, I don't want to dump my speed. I don't want to go vertical. I want to drop my nose and get the hell out of here. Here's my opportunity. MiG-17's going the other way. F11's already been air braking. He is nice and slow. Dropping our nose, and we're getting the hell out of here. Chadmiral gets a free kill, and all is well. And here I get to take this guy head on again. We're going to miss him. But this is the whole point. You play the power on this aircraft. Your acceleration is really freaking awesome. So this next clip I'm going to show you is going vertical with an F5. Now, The F5 is still a MiG. It's still a MiG-17 with an afterburner. The problem with the F5 is it's rather heavy. So when it gets slow, its acceleration is not as good as a lot of people like to believe it is. That's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of it. But we're following him into a dive. We're going to end up following him vertical. What he does is honestly probably what I would have done at the same time. So I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to harp on this guy at all. He did exactly what I would do. I would have underestimated this aircraft as well. But he took me into a spiral. And it's very hard to hit things with this aircraft, obviously. But as we get slower, he's doing it right. As we get slower, I wouldn't normally be able to pull on him. But once I get below 400, I pop these landing flaps. And, yeah. I can pull my nose right up. That caught him off guard, and I was really surprised as well. And that's really the only reason that I'm putting this in here. Like I say, I don't want to shame that guy at all. He did it right. So this last little clip I'm throwing in here because I want you guys to be aware. This right here, this is going to be teammate of the week for me. This guy is awesome. If you don't know, obviously it's a naval aircraft, you get a carrier spawn. But if two people take off at the same time from a carrier, one of you gets screwed. Sometimes both of you. It chops your power and it doesn't let you accelerate. And you see this like jerky back and forth. So this guy's actually awesome. We're kind of fighting over who goes first. Eventually he's like, all right, you go. And so I said, okay, as long as I know that he's not going to screw me, because if he starts accelerating right now, it takes away all my acceleration. I'm just going to float off the end of the freaking, yeah, it's not going to work. I'm going to crash. And that happened to me the other day in my stream. Again, tonight, you guys, I'll be streaming again on Twitch around 5, maybe 5:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Hopefully, we'll see you guys there. If not, well, it's all right. We're going to try and do some streaming on YouTube as well. I was going to originally do Wednesdays. Probably still going to do it. I just can't make this Wednesday, so unfortunately I have to work. I'm going to leave you guys with this right here. This is an entire match, but it's really not a long one. It's just another match, and hopefully this showcases the power just a little bit better than I did in that first match. Like I said, this is not necessarily everybody's plane, but if you play the power... If you play the power on this plane, you will actually enjoy it, but it's not a turn fighter, so if you end up with somebody on your butt, your odds of living is not very good. It really isn't. So that's why I put the really bad footage in there of me. You know, I survived, but there's plenty of times where you get in that situation you're probably not going to. Granted, most of mine I've survived until I get swarmed, but... I don't know. It's tough to pick footage sometimes for this aircraft, and as much as I'm enjoying it, it's hard to really show you guys the footage of how I enjoy it. So it's just a play on power. This match is another 6-kill match. Well, 5 because the last one's kind of an easy kill. But this one showcases the power better. I'm not going to narrate it. I'm just going to let it play out. Let me know what you guys think. If you have questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Until then, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you around.
Our base is under attack. We must repel the attackers. The enemy is winning! We must counterattack! target. Engaging the enemy.
Cover me, I'm taking damage!
Thank you. Pressure on the enemy. They're winning. Bravo.
Cause you feel my mind, or you feel my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new. Let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. And the world is on your shoulders, and you feel like falling over. Just come a little closer, I'll be there for you. The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me? We do it on repeat. I could stay awake till the night is through, with you by my side, with you by my side. Though we've only met, let me dive into your ocean. With my heart
Engaging the enemies.
when the world is on your shoulders.
Affirmative.
I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you.
Bravo.
I know you feel the tension. Just let me in your head so I can be there for you, there for you. The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me?
We need to put more pressure on the enemy.